Hi students, in today's class I would like to explain about CSMA slash CA. The full form of CSMA CA is Carrier Sense Multiple Axis with Collision Avoidance. So carrier sense multiple axis with collision avoidance. So it was invented for wireless networks. So it was invented for wireless networks, and the collisions are avoided. So these collisions are avoided through the use of CSMA CS. Here to avoid the collisions, so we have to use three strategies. Those are nothing but interframe space. So in short form it is called it as IFS, interframe space, and the second one is the contention window. So in short form it is called it as CW, and the acknowledgements. So in short form it is called it as ACK. So to avoid collisions in CSMA CA, so we have to use three strategies. They are one is interframe space, and another one is contention window, and another one is acknowledgements. So already in the last class already we seen CSMA CD. In today's class we will discuss CSMA CA, that is carrier sense multiple axis collision avoidance. So here this is interframe space. So mainly in CSMA CA it is used in wireless network. So in wireless network most of the energy is lost due to transmission. So if collisions may occur, so again it can be add 5 to 10% additional energy, so it can't be well detected. So collisions are avoided using based on three strategies. Those are nothing but IFS and the contents window and the acknowledgement. So interframe space IFS. So first the collisions are avoided by differing transmission even if the channel is found ideal. So when an ideal channel is found, so that station does not send immediately, it waits for a period of time. So that is called the interframe space or IFS. So in this the collisions in CSMA CA, if the collisions are avoided by, so we have to differing the transmission even if the channel is found ideal. So even though the channel is in ideal case, so the station immediately does not send the data from transmitter to receiver or source to destination. So whatever the station or that station will be using a specific channel, so that will be waits for a period of time. So that waiting of some amount of time is called as interframe space IFS. So here we have whenever we see the timing diagram, so here we have the continuously sensing the sensor or the station, a specific station. So if the sensor or the station found ideal, so in between the contention window and the channel we have it is IFS, that is interframe space, so that the channel does not transmit information or the data immediately, so it will wait some amount of time, so that is called as IFS. So next we will see what is the contention window. So the contention window is an amount of time divided into slots. So we have that maybe as the size is binary exponential. So in the contention window we have the different time slots. So we divide that space into different time slots. So a station that is ready to send chooses a random number of slots as its wait time. So the number of slots in the window changes according to the binary exponential backoff strategy. So here whatever the station is ready to send the data from one that is transmitter to receiver or sender to destination. So here that will take some random amount of slot, so even the slot is perfect to match that required channel is satisfied with the station, then the data will be transmitted through that time slot, specific time slot. So that is about a contention window. So next one is so acknowledgement. So this acknowledgement will follows following these precautions. So there will be maybe a collision resulting in destroyed data. So in addition, the data may be corrupted during the transmission. So the positive acknowledgements will be matches the timeout timer can help guarantee that the receiver has received the frame. So there will be a frame exchange, that the exchange of data and the control frames in time. So that will be follow these precautions. Those are nothing but so if the before sending a frame, the source station senses the medium by checking proper energy level at the carrier frequency. So the channel uses a persistent strategy with back off until the channel is ideal. So in case another condition is so after receiving the RTS, that is and the RTS waiting period of time, so called short interframe space. So the destination station sends a control frame, so it will be called to CTS, that is clear to send to the source station. So this control frame indicates that the destination station is ready to receive data. So here the entire procedure will be explained in the flow diagram. So this flow diagram for CSMA/CA. So here we have the condition that we have to start the mechanism. So we have to start the mechanism with station. Any type of station may present during entire session. That means from the transmitter to receiver or source to destination. So at the source we have to start with the timing slot k is equal to 0. So then it matches this matches the condition of channel. So then we have that will be the station will scans and verifies whether the channel is ideal or not. So if the channel is ideal S, so then so it will be go through IFS. So immediately it generates interframe sequence time in between the station to channel. So if there is channel is not ideal, so again and again it continuously sensing the channel. So when it will reaches that means the IFS time will be satisfies. So then again the station will senses the channel. So if the channel is ideal, then it chooses the contention window. That means it choose a random number that is R between 0 to that is 2 power k minus 1. That means we have different time slots. So the size of the contention window is 2 power k minus 1. So the 2 power k minus 1 is nothing but it allows, that means the channel or that specific time period will be waits up to some random amount of time. So that is nothing but 0 to 2 power k minus 1. So when so we have the slots are ready for transmit. So if we after each slot if ideal, so it continues transmission. So if busy, so we get the halt, and uh, if that channel is free, so then it will be continue transmitting the frame from one device to another device. That is, we send the frame and we have to time out. So then if properly received the acknowledgement, so if yes, so we get the success of transmitting the data from one transmitter to receiver. So otherwise no, so we have to allocate k is equal to k plus 1, uh, and if that time slot may reaches to k is greater than 15, if yes, that again it will be abort. So the entire transmission or the allocation of the channel will be abort. So again if the condition is no, then it will goes to again the ideal channel, again it's sensing and doing. So this overall process will be done in CSMA CA. So the source station sends data after waiting an amount of time, so equal to SFIS. So the destination station after waiting an amount of time equal to SIFS. It sends acknowledgement to show that the frame has been received, that the frame has been received. So this is about CSMA CA process flow chart, and how we will transfer the data from source to destination. And so here we have to discuss, so in this controlled axis, so we are so in the initially we have three types of mechanisms. Those are nothing but so these channelized protocols and random access protocols. So those are nothing but Aloha, CSMA, CSMA CD, CSMA CA, and the controlled access protocols are nothing but reservation, polling, token passing. And another one is channelization protocols is nothing but TDMA, FDMA, and CDMA. So now we will discuss the controlled access protocols. So in controlled access, the stations consult one another to find which station has the right to send. So in controlled access, so whatever the stations present within in between the source to destination or transmitter to receiver. So if we are having for example consider 4 stations, so here there will be a cooperation, cooperation will be established in between one station to another station. So among that those stations, so that will consult one with another to find which station has the right to send. That means they can be allocated a priority in between the stations. So so then based on that priority, that stations will send the data from one side to another side, or transmitter to receiver. So a station cannot send unless it has been authorized by other stations. So if any one station will not be authorized with that group of stations, so that station cannot be transmit the data from transmitter to receiver. So these will be these concept will be based on implemented with different types. Those are nothing but reservation, polling, and the token passing. So the priority or the cooperation will be performed by using 3 techniques. Those are nothing but reservation, polling, and the token passing. So here the in controlled access reservation method. So in this method, a station needs to make a reservation before sending the data. So here the remembering point is, if there are n stations in the system, so these are exactly n reservation mini slots in the reservation frame. So here in this shown diagram, so this is the method, or we are taking some of the reservation. So we having the data station 1 and the data station 2 and data station 3, 4, so and so. So we are having the reservation frame, so that will be allocated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this reservation frame, so which station will be have the reservation, that means which station will consult within the frame will be reserved for a particular time of period. So then that will be the priority to transmit the data from transmitter to receiver. So if first of all station 1 will be filled that reservation frame with priority 1, so then that a specific amount of time will be allocated to station 1. So after station 3 will be registered within the reservation frame, so then the specific after the data transmission of station 1 will be completed. So after that the priority will be given to the station 3. So mainly, so whatever in reservation method the station present in whenever we using to transmit the data under reservation method, so it has to needs to make a reservation before sending the data. So that time is divided into intervals. So in each interval a reservation frame proceeds the data frames sent in that interval. So wherever we have a different time slot reservation frame, so in the first interval only stations 1, 2 have made a reservation. So and the second interval only station 1 has made a reservation. So based on the intervals, so we will transmit the data according to the reservation. So that is about reservation method. So next one, polling method. Polling. So we have different polling in between the primary, that is source to different stations. So that will be used followed different primary actions. Those are nothing but selective and acknowledgement and data acknowledgement procedures. So in this reservation method, a station needs to so here in the polling method, so here the polling works with topologies in which one device is designed as a primary station and the other devices are the secondary stations. So all data exchanges must be made through the primary device even when the ultimate destination is a secondary device. So the primary device controls the link and the secondary device follows the instructions. Thus this method uses poll and select functions to prevent collisions. So in this polling method, so we have whatever the one device is will be designated as a primary station and the remaining all devices as a secondary stations. So if you want to exchange or transmit the data, so it must be made through the primary device. So and also it will be control the link in between primary and secondary device. So here for example we can consider this system as a primary and the remaining system as a secondary. So if you want to, the data will be transmit from only the primary device. So again if you want to transmit the data from the receiver to transmitter, so at the time we have to set as that receiver set as a primary device and the transmitter as a secondary device. So the how the data will be exchanged or transmit from these devices, so based on the selection and the acknowledgement instructions. So here whenever we have to send the data from the primary to secondary device as a select, so then from the secondary device to primary we have to get the acknowledgement. So if the acknowledgement is received from the secondary to primary, then we have to send the data to primary to secondary. Then again the acknowledgement will be received from secondary to primary. So based on that we will communicate or transfer the data from one device to another device. So here we have the poll option. So that is the poll option. So here the poll function is used by the primary device to transmission from the secondary devices. So when the primary is ready to receive data, so it must ask each device in turn if it has anything to send. When the first secondary is approached, so it responds either with a NAC frame if it has nothing to send, or with data if it does. So if the response is negative, that is a NAC frame, so when the primary polls the next secondary in the same manner until it finds one with the data to send. So when the response is positive, the primary reads the frame and returns an acknowledgement frame. So it verifies it will receive the data from primary to secondary device. So here the select function is used when primary wants to send data. So the polling function is used when primary station wants to receive the data from existing station within the network. So that is nothing but polling method. So next one, token passing methods. So in this the stations in a network are organized as a, so we have to use different topologies to transmit the data as a token. That is nothing but physical ring, dual ring, bus ring, or star network. So based on any type of format, we have to use the token from one system to another system. So in this the stations in a network are organized in a local logical link. In this method a special packet called as a token, so that circulates through the ring. So based on the accessing of the token gives the station right to access the channel and sends its data from token using system to desired system. So from which system to the token will be generated. So if the token will be passing from one system to another system, so based on that the information is also moving from one device to another device, or the data is also circulating from one device to another device. So we have the in terms of current station in token passing, we have the current station, and before station we can call it as predecessor, and after station from the current station to next one we can call it as a successor one. So we can which station has to send the data, so that station must access and release the token. So based on that we are which station has the token, so that station has the right to send the data from one station to another station, one station to another station. So based by using that method we can pass the data in a token passing access method. So these are controlled access techniques. Those reservation method and the polling and the token passing. By using these methods we can transmit the data from one device to another device. So mainly it is used in wireless networks. Mainly this type of controlled access techniques mainly used in wireless networks. So next one is channelization. So this channelization is a multiple access method, so in which the available bandwidth of a link is shared in time or frequency or through code, so between different stations. So course channelization is nothing but so we have to share the we have the bandwidth, so that bandwidth of a link is shared in terms of time. So time, so that is call it as a TDM, time division multiplexing, or yeah, that will be the code will be, that bandwidth will be um, shared in terms of frequency. So that will be the technique we will be call it as FDM, frequency division multiple accessing method. So if that bandwidth will be shared in terms of code, so that type is call it as code division multiple access, CDMA. So that will be, so if you want to share that time or frequency or the code in between different stations, so that type of process we can call it as a channelization. So in this we have to discuss the three types of channelization methods. Those are nothing but FDMA, TDMA, and the CDMA. So that is FDMA. So in frequency division multiple access, so the available bandwidth is divided into frequency bands. So in each station is allocated a band to send its data. So in this whatever we have the channel and different stations, station 1, station 2, station 3, and station 4. So if you, for each station here we have different colors, yellow and green and the blue and pink color. So these are different that the bandwidth will be allocated different type of frequency. For each station we are allocated different, here the for data 1 type of frequency, and for the station 2 1 type of frequency, and station 3 1 type of, and station 4 1. So based on this, for this frequency will be used for every time to transmit the data for station 1, that means this allocation band only, that station will transmit the data from one device to another device, and another device. So that is nothing but FDMA. So each station is allocated a band to send its data. So to prevent station interference, so that the allocated bands are separated from one another by a small guard bands. So this is the simple idea of FDMA. So this FDMA specifies a predetermined frequency band for the entire period of communication. So this means that stream data, a continuous flow of the data that may not be uh, can easily used with FDMA. So this is about FDMA. So the FDMA, the available bandwidth of the common channel is divided into bands, so that separated by guard bands. So next one TDMA. So this TDMA is different. So in case of FDMA, we are divide the entire bandwidth will be divided into different frequency bands, but here the TDMA, the entire bandwidth is just one channel, that is time shared between different stations. So we are sharing the entire channel to a specific slot to a specific station, that that specific station will be used for some amount of time. So that is here whenever we see, so we having the entire bandwidth, so that will be allocated. That means the slot 1 is allocated to station 1, and slot 2 allocated to station 2, and the slot 3 allocated to station 3. So based on that we will transmit the data from one device to another device. So in TDMA, the station share the bandwidth of the channel in time. So each station is allocated a time slot during which it can send data. Each station transmits its data in an assigned time slot. So next one, CDMA. So in CDMA, one channel carries all transmissions simultaneously. So because we are giving a specific code to every channel. So we are using in this we are using a single channel. So this single channel will carries the data of all stations. So that is nothing but D1 into C1. So that is for station is sending the data with code C1, and the station 2 will send the data D2 with code C2. So based on that we will share the data. That is parallel mechanism. That parallel mechanism will be implemented in CDMA. So this multiple code division multiple access was conceived several decades ago, so that recent advances in electronic technology have finally made its implementation is possible. So that CDMA differs from FDMA in that only one channel occupies the entire bandwidth of the link. So it differs from TDMA in that all stations can send data simultaneously. There is no time sharing. So that CDMA means communicating with different codes. So let us assume we have 4 stations, 1 2 3 4, so connected to the same channel. So the data from station 1 are D1, from station 2 are D2, and so on. So the code assigned to the first station is C1, to the second station is C2, and so on. So we assume that assigned codes have two properties. So if we multiply each code by another, so we get 0. So if we multiply each code by itself, we get 4, that is the number of stations. So here so all techniques, that is CDMA, and so CDMA means communication with different codes. So here we have to communicate with different coding technologies. So this is about TDMA and the CDMA. So we have the sharing channel in CDMA, and the decoding of composite signal of R1 in CDMA. So we have to use different techniques in CDMA. So this is about controlled axis, multiple axis technologies. So in this we have to use 3 different techniques. One is the reservation, and another one is the polling. So this is about. So in the next class we will discuss the entire. So please subscribe BBS Talks.